Hey everybody, you ready to get your Angus on? Yo, cause hope you're all having a great day out there. Today, it's lesson vibe day, right? So we're gonna focus on some Angus Young guitar tricks, and just one in particular that I stole from him, and it has helped me so much with you just find more unique notes. You know, if you wanna learn from someone, learn from the best. So that's Angus Young. And we're gonna dive into this one. You can get the tabs linked down below if you want to. Heads up, if you're vibing on what we're doing today, my Rock and Roll Bootcamp course is going to be for sale again on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. It's not available yet, but it'll be here on Sunday, and it really ties in nicely with what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and get jamming on these. I'm going to show you 2 Angus licks and then 2 of my own kind of interpretations that will hopefully spin it in new ways for you. So let's get it. Lick number 1 is Thunderstruck. I know I have kind of a tame distortion here today, but we're just going to roll with it. So now, this is actually a lick I've taught before, but it just orchestrates everything I want to show you just real quickly. So it's all out of this B minor. If you know Thunderstruck, not going to play too much of it, copyright. But basically we're working out of our B minor pentatonic scale right here. So if you don't know your minor pentatonic scale, I recommend you just go learn box number 1, and all these licks are going to make a lot more sense to you. So what we're doing here is we're going to bend 9 on the G up a full. So like I said, it's all box 1 B minor. Okay, and like I said, and I'm going to point out the concept here in just a second. So we're bending this up a full step. Okay, and he does this little pentatonic falling lick. Okay, now he did something here that gives you a very unique note kind of choice. So we're starting on 7 on the high E string, 10 pull off the 7, and then 9 on the G. That's all, I mean, we're really just going straight to the scale at this point. Nothing has really like jumped out at us. Sounds cool, but it's the next thing that he does that is so crucial and important to just livening up, and he does it all over the place. So we're gonna, okay, oh, I missed the bend. Ah, this right here. Now he's actually outlining a chord. He's playing a B minor chord, but we're gonna play 7 on the B, 7 on the G, and then 9 on the D. This little rolling motion, that's his trick. He does that a lot, and it makes there's just a larger interval between the notes. Normally if you played your pentatonic scale, you'd go to get to that note, but he goes, so yeah, there's more space between those notes. It just sounds cool, and it's just, you know, 100% Angus being Angus. So get that little thing there. So what I do is I'm basically overshooting when I place my index finger on the B string. Okay? So what happens is, instead of playing it like I normally would, I kind of overshoot it because I know I'm going to roll my finger. Because you have to get both those notes with your index finger. Okay? Okay? Then that 9 on the D. So that's the lick. So that's the concept. Now, let me show you how he does it in a much more complex way, and then I'm going to show you 2 other ways that I like to use it. So one of the greatest solos ever has to be the Shook Me All Night Long. So melodic, iconic. And now he does this little lick here. He goes, and that's what we're going to learn. If you notice how he rolls his fingers again, it's just really cool. And he's mixing kind of his his major pentatonic in with his minor at this point. But it's all, you know, this G minor box shape. Okay, and he's adding the major 6 and the 2. But here's the lick. You know, I'll play one more time slow. Now, did you see where that roll happened at, you know, in that little solo lick? It's so good. And like I said, as soon as I started learning that stuff from Angus, I started incorporating it. I also, Eddie Van Halen does this a lot, Richie Kotzen as well. And there's a trait, you know, these guys who are, oh, I don't know, they're pretty good, are doing it. So I think we should maybe try to like follow in their footsteps a little bit here. So basically I'm bending up 17 on the high E string. So again, think of your pentatonic box. We're starting on 17, which is normally not in there. Okay? Now, I believe, let me think here, Yeah, it's a pre-bend. So basically I'm bending 17 before I even pick it, and you hear the note fall. Angus does this a lot too. Here's another little trick you could take from Angus. Kind of like a country player's thing. You know, they do that stuff all the time. Those falling pre-bends. But anyways, I go back to 15 on the high E string, and I go back to 17, and see how I overshot the string a little bit again? What I'm saying is I'm putting the string more in the middle of my finger, not so much the tip, because I'm going to roll right there. Okay? And then you go back to 15. Now I go back to 18 and I give it a big old full step bend. Now we're back in that minor pentatonic territory. You could actually look at this as, you know, basically it's all straight major pentatonic to begin with. But he's incorporating, then he goes back to minor. So now if that part's giving you trouble, just work on that little bit right there. Get to where you can bar those strings. That's, like I said, it's the tricky part of all of this stuff, is getting where you can roll your finger across two strings. That way, you're not playing the scale in order anymore. Now, I added a little bit here onto it just so we can kind of finish the phrase. We're going to go back to 15 on the high E string, 18 on the B. Now, we have another pre-bend here. He's going to bend 17 on the G up, and then he picks it, and you hear the note fall. Okay, back to 15 on the G, and then you bend that 7. You could resolve it if you wanted to. And I might not have these licks like note for note or just, you know, total spot on perfect, but the idea is there and it's coming from these solos. So, alright, so here's my own lick. It still totally has an Angus vibe to it, but this is what we're rocking now. E minor pentatonic. Okay, so there we have the same rolling. Now what I wanted to do is I incorporated both styles of rolling. If you noticed, in the first lick we rolled with our index finger. Second lick we rolled with our ring finger. And this one we're doing both. So I'm starting here in box 1. I'm bending 15 on the high E string up a big old full step. Okay, now I'm going to walk back to 12. I go back to 15, overshooting because I'm going to roll my finger up to get that 15. Because what sounds better, going like that or going like this? You know, one just sounds like a scale, the other one has these, like I said, it's the fact that the notes aren't so in order, it makes them more interesting. Okay, now I'm going to go back to 12, and I kind of go 12 on the high E string to 12 on the B. Okay? Back to 15. I'm going to bend 14 on the G. And I end on 12 on the high string. Again, I'm making a larger jump there. You know, I could have went, but those notes are so close, why not get a whole nother octave up? Adds a little bit more of that Angus attitude to it. You know, he does that, he'll throw in some crazy thing. But, so we have, you know, I wouldn't think of doing that stuff. I would play more, you know, straight through the scale without having learned all that Angus stuff. Like I said, it's all about just stealing those little ideas. It doesn't always have to be a big, huge, shreddy passage. Just take little stuff from all these legends, man. Now the fourth and final thing I want to show you here is more of a scale-based approach. You know, like these have all been licks, and you could use this as a lick, but it's more of a way of mapping out how you could take something like this Angus idea, put it in the pentatonic scale, spread it out a little bit, and it doesn't even sound anything like Angus anymore. So the idea is this. Okay? Like what key am I in? So E minor, I'm combining box 1 of E minor and box 2. Now, like I said before, if you don't know your pentatonic scale, I would really focus on learning that stuff. That way you can visualize where these notes are coming from. So I'm going like this. I'm going to go 17 on the high E string, all the way down to 12. Nice big old interval right there. Now I go to 15 with my ring finger. And again, notice how I overshot it because I'm going to roll up to that 15 on the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The nice little 4-note sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now what happens is I start over again, but we have to keep adapting what we're doing to the pattern of the scale. So this one starts on 17 on the B, to 12, 15 on the B, and then 14 on the G. Now notice there is no roll in this one. Everything else does, but not this one. So everything, it kind of, sorry, all my words came out together. If anything, it shows us how to start rolling and then not rolling and rolling and not rolling. So, okay, now I'm going to go to 16 because we have to adapt to the scale. 16 to 12, 14 on the G. Now I'm rolling up to get 14 on the D, using our middle finger for the first time here to get that roll. Okay, now I'm going to reach to 17 because we're back in that scale pattern. 17 to 12, 14 on the D, 14 on the A. Okay, so. Okay, see how I forgot to kind of overshoot the string a little bit and I messed up, I had to jump. Now the final one here is going to go 17 to 12 on the A, 14 on the A, 15, and then 12. There you have it. Now, for me, this one's much more, I wouldn't necessarily play it like that. That's more of a visualization thing. I like to see how I could, where I could kind of throw that in there if I want. So that's it, gang. Hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, Angus Young, man, one of my absolute guitar heroes, just an idol of mine. So hope you all have a good rest of your day. Like I said before, if anybody is interested in any of my guitar courses, they will be available again. This is the first time since November that they've been available. So that'll be all going down on Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in any of those. And hey, I'm going to bounce on out of here. If you would, subscribe, hit the like button, and just have a good rest of your day. Play some guitar, man. Crank up some Akadaka. Later, guys.